When we hear the word sex, a lot of things come to mind. We think of pleasure, touch, kisses, penetration, even self pleasure. But what about those who cannot enjoy all of that? A simple touch may send your body into seizures or not being able to be turned on at the appointed time of intimacy with your partner. Today's show is full of real and educational conversations all about sex and intimacy, especially as it has to do with us in the chronic pain community. Not forgetting a special giveaway, which is a rose clitoral sucking stimulator sponsored by the wonderful Hot Coitus. Are you ready for another chronic pain conversation? Let's go. Hello and welcome to Chronic Pain Conversations. My name is Sharifa McLaren, and this is my lovely co-host, no other side, Kalila Griswold. This is a show where we have open and honest dialogue about chronic pain. We share our experiences, acknowledge the wide variety of chronic pain diagnoses, and look at ways to manage chronic pain. But of course, before we get into all of that stuff, my favorite part of the show I want to jump into is pain. And funny enough today, pleasure. So Kalila,
Yes,
pain or pleasure today? Let me know. Valentine's Day was yesterday, so let me know the 411. Pain or pleasure?
I'm pleasure. I had Okay, honestly, shut up.
I didn't say anything.
So I've been having a little bit of rough time. Let's not play chronic pain. Had a hard time sleeping a bit last night or whatever, but for the most part, girl, I got my pearls and I got my pleasure.
Wait.
What about you, Marlo? What's going on with you? You in some pain or pleasure today?
I'm a little bit under the weather. I can't lie. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just Toronto right now or girl, there's a lot of stuff. So it could just be my body reacting to just different stuff going on. Who knows? Right. That's another conversation. But forget all that. Forget the pain. Today is all about pleasure. Pleasure today.
Are you excited?
Excited is not even the word. Excited is not. Okay, so guys, before we came on, Kalila's like, are you ready to cause some trouble? I told her I was born ready to cause trouble.
Of course.
So let's do this. Let's get right into today's show.
If we're doing this, let's talk about what it is that you're wearing today, Miss Leslie.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so for our audience members today, we went the whole Valentine's Day. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's to all our viewers out there. We love you. It's not just about your significant other; it's about our family and friends, and of course, you guys. So we love you. So today I have a robe on, and it's from not sponsored Licenza. Very nice red robe. Khalil, should I tell about what's under the robe?
Well, we're having the conversation today about people that are in chronic pain and still wanting to have their intimacy, sensuality, all of this other stuff. So if you're gonna get up,
all right. So say no more. Say no more. Okay. I got on a sensual gray thing.
All right, people. If you want to follow her at Refa McClaren,
I mean, you can follow me. I will invite the followers, but
you can DM her in her DMs.
I don't know about all that. Let's not cause that kind of trouble today because.
Okay, we won't.
Kalila, what are you wearing for today's show?
So I wanted to go. So for those of you that don't know, I kind of have a little kinky side. I'm Trini. I'm Scorpio.
Did you say kind of?
Shh. I'm still a decent church girl. With a little kinky side. I wanted to kind of bring across more of sometimes we forget that when we're talking about sex, everyone always assumes it's just the penetration, but there's so much more to it. It's, as a woman, and we've had conversations with regards to, endometriosis and some other chronic pains, and still feeling like a woman, still feeling sexual, still feeling sensual. So I have on one of my little black laces. It's all cute. This is something for, bedtime. And, you got to put the pearls on because this
Listen,
is
hold on.
something.
Listen.
What? What?
Leela.
What?
You know what? Go ahead. I ain't even gonna say anything. Go ahead.
What? It's funny because I'm the one that's like not conservative compared to her, but I put on a little black lace. I want to feel like you know how I am. I always feel like a woman can feel sensual without being sexual. And so I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of that. So, the little black, bring a little oomph with the camouflage, bring a little pearls. Behave yourself.
And with that, guys, follow the Overcomer, and her personal page is Kalila.
Shut up. You know what? You know what? Just for that, we're going into lightning round. Let's
do it. I'm ready because you have some questions that I don't even know what's up your sleeve, but let's do it. I'm gonna keep it real today.
All right, audience, we want you to play in with us, so make sure that you are leaving comments. We've got 10 questions. It's lightning round. You have to answer within 10 seconds. Are you ready? I'm just going to shoot them out. All right, Sharifa?
Go ahead.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how freaky were you before dealing with chronic pain?
8.
Ooh. Do you use toys to help with your sensual pleasure now?
Yes.
Ooh. Do you believe in chronic pain and lingerie?
Yes.
Does your chronic pain ever hold you back from dating?
Yes.
Ooh.
I want to say did.
Okay. Do you feel that in order to have satisfying sex, you need to feel good about yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever had to consult a physician about experiencing sexual problems with regards to your chronic pain condition?
Yes.
Oh. Have you had to get help through a counselor about your sexual pleasure?
No.
Okay. Do you believe becoming more fit is an excellent way to increase your comfort and endurance during sex?
Me personally, not really still.
She's never into exercise. All right, last 2 questions. Do you allocate rest time before or after your intimate experience to help manage flare-ups?
Nope.
We need to talk about that today. Have you had to learn to be creative during your sexual experiences?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. So I think for the most part, most of those answers for me, but let's kind of get into today's conversation because I know that there's a lot of people out there with their chronic pain community trying to figure out, like, for the audience members, if you go back and through our history, you'll be able to see, like, we've had really in-depth conversations. I brought up the word endometriosis before.
Yeah.
People forget, like, stars and celebrities like Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, they've had to have issues in terms of, being intimate and conceiving. There's some people where it's simple as your back pain. The fact that you played, basketball or you ran sports during, your high school days are now affecting you as an adult. And, your knee doesn't bend the way that you want it to, or your back hurts a little bit more when you try to.
You can't put your back into it the way you used to.
Put your back into it. No. And so there's all of these different things that we can do. So we got into a couple of the questions when I did lightning round, but how long do you think it took to feel comfortable about, like, having this conversation when it came to, was this an easy conversation for you when you had, like, what are some of the experiences that you've had with your chronic pain battle and your sensuality and your
to be honest with you, I was not really into the whole, like, lingerie thing. I think I think even, like, I was grown, like, I could have been living that life kind of thing.
Right.
But I think with everything that had happened or transpired when I got really sick, like, I was ashamed of my body in the sense where, like, I ended up with scars and, darkness over my chest and stuff like that. So I wasn't as confident.
Right.
But when it comes to lingerie, I was like, But I think
How did that...
Huh?
What made that change?
I think I want to say within the last 5 years,
Okay.
I came to a personal point where I was like, you know what, Rifa, you've gone through ish. That shouldn't stop you from doing anything. And one of
Yes.
that was just being confident in yourself. Because I'm like,
Gotcha.
do I not want to have someone in my life? Do I want to hold back on that person? Or do I want to be that person, that freak that I was before dealing with chronic pain? You know what I'm saying? Do I want that to change, kind of thing? And so I guess as the years gone, I was just more comfortable and confident with myself to say, hey, I went through things. This is my story, and it's not going to hold me back from being sensual, you know?
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. It's really weird because, okay, not to be rude, but I was never promiscuous, but I was always the girl. when guys would step up to me, I would give them a challenge. And then after having my accident, even after my first accident, just being intimate, being movable, like Sharifa will tell you, like just being able to move, lift my hands, do certain things. And I used to be like into yoga and I had to fight for that back. That was really difficult. And just being like actual intimacy. So I've had to see the gynecologist, I've had to see the pain doctor, I've had to see the family physician because I was like, I'm Trini and a Scorpio and I like my sexual pleasure and now I can't have it. And it feels like there's a part that's missing from
That's missing. Yep.
And so many people, like we've had conversations where people are like their spouse or their partner is afraid to touch them because it might set off pain for them, or their endurance isn't lasting as long, or all of these different things. So it's a dark conversation that we have in our chronic pain community, but it's a conversation we need to have.
Absolutely.
So, my question to you is then, in you developing your confidence as a chronic pain conqueror, have you used any pleasure toys to be able to help you get to the place that you are to be in your intimate, sensual place?
I have.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I forgot the name of it, but
it's not the sucker apparently that we're giving away today.
I think there's like a rabbit attached to like the name of it. You can help me out because Kalila, you listen.
Don't put my business out there.
We're keeping it real with people them today, so help a girl out.
Okay.
Honestly, I wasn't into this whole toys thing until maybe like call it 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm still new to that whole entire world, but
I think it's a world
there ain't nothing like the real thing. Just saying.
It's not a world that we have to be ashamed of. And then you've got these sex shops and these lingerie stores that, as much as they might not quote unquote cater to the chronic pain community, if you walk in and have a conversation with some of these owners or some of the people that are working in these stores, they're so willing to help you.
To help, absolutely.
They will be able to tell you things like when you have certain pleasure toys or you want to have certain experiences, because people go in there with their partners and you can have really good conversations about what can I use, what can I use. A lot of the toys, there are some toys that are out there that are really meant to be desensitizing. So if you're someone like us and if someone slaps you and it hurts for like an hour, they might have something that's a lotion. They might have something that'll help desensitize you. They'll have something that stimulates you. I think the same way that we talk about therapy and clinical options that are out there for people, a lot of people, when they hear the word sex store, they don't want to like get into it, but there's so much options. There's options for like outfits, there's options for lingeries, there's options for different sizes, there's options for like I have board games. Funny enough, people don't even know that there's just games. Like I have one of the things that I had to do is I have these dice and it says, shut up. It says, kiss me, suck me, nibble, whatever. So one dice will have an action and one dice will have a body part. And you kind of roll it.
You got to put it together. Got you. You
roll it and whatever it is, you and your partner you put your timer to it. If it's a minute or 5 minutes or whatever, and you place it and it actually helped me because there was like a whole 6-8 months where I was like, nobody's going in any, you just don't touch me. Yeah. And this was something that really helped me to get back into like my groove. And when I go into these chronic pain classes or these resources, you hear the stories of women and men that are like, I'm not the way that I used to be. And we're all fighting for a piece of what we used to be, but we also need to fight for what our future is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
I have a question for you.
I know. I can see your face.
Trust me, it's a really simple question. You asked me a question before and I wanted to know from you. Do you feel that in order to have satisfying sex, you need to feel good about yourself?
Oh, heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things is like, I was watching one of my motivational videos the other day, and we're just talking about like what self-love is, self-esteem, and all the other stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think we sit back and we want other people to validate us, which is fine. But at the same token, like, I'm a bigger girl. And it's a very interesting thing. I always talk to you about going north and south of the border. Like, if I'm in Canada, I'm not as appreciated as much as a thicker round woman, but I come across the border to the States and it's like,
all got in a
battle. It's all good. Whether I go in Canada or the United States, I should feel good about myself.
Absolutely.
And funny enough, one of the things that actually helped me was a friend of mine a few years ago was actually working at one of the sex shops. And Halloween time was coming, and I have always wanted to have a couple of the little suits. And what was really interesting is I literally spent half a day trying on outfits and trying to figure out what felt good in me or what felt good on me. And it was like, oh, I took the time to actually go in the store and be like, what is it that I want? I want to feel what's available for me. And there are times where we might be having this conversation, and yes, we're using the word partner, but there's people that are out there that don't have a partner. Mm-hmm. When I was in accidents, I didn't have a partner, but I needed to find a way to still, we're humans. We want to feel a way. And there's stuff that's out there. There are toys that are out there. There's like, not just lubrications or different things, but there are so many different things that are out there to make you feel comfortable with yourself.
Right.
You can look at yourself in the mirror. Like I said, I'm a thicker woman. So I have a couple of, you can't see underneath this, but there's a little chunkiness. And I still have to feel comfortable in front of somebody when I, undress.
Right, right.
And the one thing that I hear from men all the time is it doesn't matter how a woman looks. If she's confident, that is one of the sexiest things that they like.
Yep. I heard that too. Confidence outdoes everything.
So even if you don't believe it, strut like you own it and see what happens.
But I have a question for you though.
What's your next
question? You asked me a question.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite pleasurable toy?
I refuse to answer that as there's more than one.
Oh, you plead the fifth. Cool.
I don't I said there's more than one.
So my favorite toy is a top three?
Man is number one.
Hallelujah to that. Yes. Nothing like the real thing. Yep. I agree. 100% agree.
I do have a vibrator, not gonna lie. And I don't know what my third is. It's really weird because did I ever tell you about my wedding box?
No.
Okay. So younger Kalila had to put away such toys that she found very desirable. And I decided to create a wedding box so that when I get married, I can actually present this box on the night of my wedding to my husband. So there's certain things that are in the box that I'm either tried and not allowed to try again until I have my husband, or I haven't tried at all, but I want to try, but I want to wait till I have my husband. So I actually have a pleasure box. And I've actually given pleasure boxes as wedding presents to people before, where they'll have like coupons. So that's another way for you to help somebody in your chronic pain community in terms of they don't know what to do. Right. So you kind of like, if you can get them a gift card for Apple and for like Target, you can give them a gift card for, a central place for them to try something out. And that way you don't have to figure out what they want, but you can be able to say, go and have a little fun.
Right. I agree.
Right. I only said, you made me call 3. You only said 1. You said you just used them.
You see, that's the thing. We both had the same one because I said there's nothing like the real thing. So man is number one.
Man is number one for me.
Man is number one.
Okay.
Nothing can overtake a man.
Okay. Do you feel that in order to, oh, that's the wrong question I was about to ask you. do you feel like you, one of the things that we talk about with our chronic pain is if you take the journey in a certain way, you actually learn more about yourself. Like your chronic pains can actually help you with my IBS. It helps me with my food, my fibromyalgia. It helps me not deal with, I have to deal with tensional things or being overwhelmed. I've had to learn how to tweak all of that. Do you find that your chronic pain has taught you to learn about yourself and your sensuality a little bit more?
100%.
Okay.
100%. I think, and I've mentioned this before, a lot of things that used to happen before transplant have not been happening after transplant. And so with that, I feel like I'm more free. Let's just put it like that. But like, for example, before transplant, I wasn't able to endure like sexual pleasure for a very long time with my partner. Whereas now it's not really an issue kind of thing. So with that came in with the lightning round you did with taking rest times and stuff like that before. That's why I said now, not really, because like I said,
she has stamina, people. Stamina.
Free as a bird.
Okay.
But no, it's important that, we make note of those things because we don't want to behave like we can conquer the world when inside we're dying. There's no point in that. There's no point in that because we're more hurting ourselves than taking care of ourselves, if that makes sense.
It completely makes sense. Ivy, did you know for you?
Okay.
Did you know that some people are not aware that their medication that is helping them be relieved from their chronic pain can also have side effects that affect their sexual pleasure?
I did know that, but I don't think our audience members knew that. I knew that because I take a medication,
right,
which I still take, but I don't know, for some reason I'm good. Anyways, I before I was taking a medication.
You warned a year ago. This is not the conversation.
No, and that's the thing. Definitely wasn't. It's a total different conversation now. But I know that some medications that I take, like, it makes me tired, and it's one of those where if you have to take it in the morning, you might have the whole day. But what if it's a medication you take every 12 hours? That's morning and then night, right? By the time it's night again, you're not in the mood, or you may not be turned on, which was my problem. I'm gonna keep it real. When it came to natural lubrication, that wouldn't happen.
Okay.
Which is why I would have to consult a doctor, and that's how I figured it out. So yeah.
Wow. But I think the other thing is that people don't actually understand that on their prescription list, it literally will say,
it will tell you,
a reduction of sexual intimacy, and it'll be like impotency. Like, we watch these commercials and you'll watch Affleck, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, okay, so you have diarrhea, you have this, and all of a sudden, and people forget about it. People forget that, and we talk about side effects for medication on so many things, but today we're talking about your medication. As much as you love it and you're taking it, is it affecting your desire, your sensual pleasure, how your endorphins? Is it affecting, how sensual or sensitive your body is?
Yeah.
All of these things can happen. And
it starts with even just your mood.
It can affect your mood alone. Right. Because if some of them put you in a depressive mood, you don't even want someone to touch you.
Yeah.
Sorry. So we want to be able to make sure that you guys understand that. So can we talk about planning ahead, Sharifa? Because I think
it's important we talk about
it. Of course, this is chronic conversation. So we want to have a little talk to me about this. Talk to me about, now you said you used to plan ahead. So what does that look like for you now in terms of?
Okay, so planning ahead for me used to look like it's as simple as knowing maybe I'm getting off work early. So in the sense of fine, I'm getting off work early, I can come home, do what I gotta do. If I gotta make dinner, and then I have that time to, get my shower, relax, and just be ready for getting into that groove. I just want to share some strategies that some of you in the chronic pain community can use. It sounds silly, but do warm-up exercises before having sex. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Include your partner in like a bath or even a shower. Like, listen. Let's keep it real. We can kill two birds with one stone in the shower or in the bathtub. No, let's keep it real. We can.
It's not about killing two birds with. Okay, let's really think about this. The warmth of the heat.
Right.
Your body.
Right. I was getting to that.
Continue
the warmth alone of the water, especially like if you really plan it out, like, ladies, don't be afraid to put those candles and those rose petals and be like, yo, babe, let's go. It can work. Include them, have a massage, listen to music. You just don't know what that can do for you. As well as, clearly, we never really touched on it, but pain medication can do a lot as well if we take it in advance. So if we know that, our joints have issues, like we said, knees don't move the way it used to move, or can't put our back into it the way we want to, take that medication in advance if you're going to put in that work tonight. Feel me?
And it's not even, okay, so not to go off of it, but it's not even just when you're trying to like plan to be intimate. Like, you should be taking a pain medicine if you know that you're going to be having a long day. And you can take one before, and sometimes you got to take one after.
That's okay.
That's okay. That is more okay. Did you talk about being more fit to increase your endurance?
Yes, I did let them know, do some warm-up exercises just before.
No, but we're not talking about.
It sounds silly, but it can help.
It can. Doing your stretches, doing your yoga, doing your Pilates. But let's talk about, and we talk about this all the time, let's talk about what it means to actually start becoming more active in your life. And a lot of people want to be like, the chronic pain isn't working or it's bad. And we talk about doing small walks. Even if you get out to the street, come back, go up the sidewalk, come back, and you start to build yourself around the track. Yeah. You've got the walking, the swimming, the biking, all of that stuff that you're having your shortness of breath or you're having your fatigue, even while you're doing your intimacy. If you learn how to pace yourself, if you learn how to increase your endurance, how to regulate your heart rate before you're even in the bed or wherever you're doing whatever you're doing, then it comes back to your bed. And it sounds really crazy, but you started off seeing me not even be able to walk upstairs.
Absolutely.
Right. And now I'm having a conversation with you with regards to, I'm walking longer, I'm jogging, my miles are getting further. Right. That helps. That really does. That helps. Okay. Flare-ups. Have you had a flare-up after being?
I haven't. That's why I was going to ask you to elaborate. Like, I can elaborate, yes, but I think it's better coming from someone who experiences it.
All right. Chronic pain conquerors. Let's not play. So I have fibromyalgia. I have PNES, psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. So we're talking about when this body gets too drained, I'll start shaking. And, normally a woman wants to shake afterwards.
Listen.
We all want to shake afterwards. Like,
even if he's shaking, it stops.
I feel my legs.
No, literally.
But on the other side of it, I was having seizures because I didn't have enough energy. I was literally shaking afterwards. And a seizure could last anywhere from 30 minutes to 24 hours later. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's called an aftershock. Most of them be like, I did that. But you didn't do that.
You really didn't, though.
You really didn't. You kind of did, but you didn't. So we always talk about resting before and after you have an event, resting before or after you go to something big, resting whenever. This is the same thing for you. If you are somebody who knows that your body's getting tired right after, like, not to be crazy, but like I would be intimate at nighttime and the very next day I couldn't go anywhere because I was like, I've got no juice in me, like just
Right.
none. And I had to really figure that out. But there's this place where people can understand, like, rest before you're being a little intimate, and that rest can be a TV show or a movie before anything happens. It can be a TV show or something afterwards.
Yeah.
It can be going and being like, listen, I'm putting it down on you tonight. It's Valentine's week. I'm not doing anything tomorrow morning. Like, it could
It's
be
true.
all, it can be a lot of different things, but we want you to live a life that is so comfortable for you, that doesn't create peace, that creates peace for you and not conflict. And so
Right.
we say these things like having your rest time and managing your flare ups so that you know that even if you have it, it's okay. It is okay for our community to have these different things that the norm isn't, but we allocate space for it to happen and we allocate space for us to recover from it. And that's one of the big things that we want to say. Go on, girl.
I have a question. When it
Okay.
comes to rest time,
Yeah.
that's where conversations with our partners come in.
Ooh.
That's something we didn't touch on just yet. Conversations. When does that happen? When do we feel that it's the right time to let our partners or significant others know that, hey, this is what I struggle with sexually. This is what happens to me. For you, seizures. When is the right time to let them know and all that stuff? How do you adjust to that? Everyone's different.
So before I even have the conversation about intimacy, I just have that conversation about seizures because I can just shake at any point in time.
100%.
TV show, being in the mood, and there's too many times where you guys have been like, "Whoa, what's happening?" And that could be like going to the movie and the surround sound is too loud,
Yeah.
just like, and they're just
Right.
like,
Right.
date's done. So I actually have to have these conversations a little bit more earlier than later.
Right.
And I think that also depends on how comfortable the person makes you feel.
Yeah.
It's not like you want to just do a bomb drop and be like,
No,
so
100% not.
it's painful when I'm intimate. It's not that. But you should be able, I always, and it sounds really crazy, but I always say to my little brothers and sisters that I mentor, I was like, if you can't have the conversation about condoms or sex, you shouldn't be intimate at all.
Nope.
If you're experiencing pain and you know that you're going to be experiencing pain, it's like going to your doctor. We go to our doctors and we always tell your doctor what's wrong. This is your sexual doctor, and they want to please you. So tell your partner what's happening. I've had to have conversations with men about what happens on the aftermath. I have to prepare them for the flare up and the seizure that's going to have afterwards because they're like, yeah, and I'm like, and it's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, talk with me, lightly rub me, help calm my, distract me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're coming out of this experience and you're feeling really great.
Well,
I'm
I'm
coming
not
out of this
feeling
experience and I'm bust ass tired. I'm not shaking.
It's true. I think for me, like when it came to things that I dealt with health wise, I was always just I wasn't always accepting, but I think when I was trying to get back into that normalcy of dating and being with somebody in that sense, I was always just very straightforward about this is what I have and deal with kind of thing.
Yeah, still not straightforward.
Listen, I was like, this is what it is, take it or leave it, but that's just me. I wasn't always like that, but I think even what I want to say with that is I think we all need to get to a place where we're confident enough to even just talk about our health with our partner. And then that can kind of help open an avenue when it comes to that as well, right? Because with your seizures, like you can talk about that, but then that's an easy avenue to say, hey, even during intimacy, it happens. That will open the conversation for that part of things, right?
Let's not act like it's not scary though.
Oh,
because
no.
We've had a lot of conversations. Like, let's not play. So I've had to deal with incontinence. I've had to deal with the seizures. I've had to deal with the fact of, can I even have babies anymore. I've had to deal with. So me and Sharifa have had really intimate conversations about, now that we're in this chronic pain community, are we going to be seen as an asset or a deficit in a man's life or in a partner's life? There are a lot of things that we had to go through, and psychologically, like Sharifa will tell you, I went for counseling. I had to go for counseling because I had to love myself all over again. Something new, traumatic happened, and I had to love myself through it.
Yeah.
So if you need to see a psychologist or a counselor or something else to
Whatever
help
it is,
love your body, love yourself, be able to
absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with it at all.
Absolutely.
At all.
Can we touch just a little bit before we close out the show on creativity? Because we got it.
Why? Okay, so do you want me to touch it? Or do you want me to?
We can both tackle it.
Okay.
So I want to ask
you.
Let me start about it. Let me start out.
Go ahead.
What are things that you do or use to be creative when it comes to intimacy, whether by yourself, with a partner, whatever it is?
You're asking me that question?
Yeah.
First of all, I use me.
Ain't nothing better than that.
Okay. I recently had a conversation with someone with regards to sexual pleasure doesn't come down to just the penetration.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're talking about touch, we're talking about sense, we're talking about taste, we're talking about all of these different things, what we see, all of these different things.
Yep.
You can have a very intimate evening with somebody and not have any kind of penetration, you know? And I think that is one of the ways that I'm very creative. I like to find people's like sweet spots on them. But there's not, shut up.
Go on.
I like it when people find my sweet spots and they like to kiss me. And they like
keeping it real.
Okay, let's not play. How many times did you find the ticklish spot on your man and you went there a couple of times?
And I kept at it. Hell yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah.
There are things that you can bring into the conversation where it's just like feathers can come in and lubrication, or can, like, being creative is having a place where it's just the candles are lit.
Yeah.
Being creative is, you know, coming in and having the lingeries on with a birthday cake in your hand and some like heels singing happy birthday when your partner's coming home. You know, being creative is having a picnic laid out on the floor, and or even just having the bathroom. Like, there's different ways of, and I think we always just go to the end part of the doing it part.
Yeah.
But being creative is leading up all into it so that when you're actually intimate, it's a really amazing experience.
100%.
Now, we're talking about it on more of this, and there's the desensitizing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place where, you know what, for a little time, someone might just have to rub me for a little bit, because especially since we've had the surgery, there's still a lot of desensitization that I need in my arm. So if you want to hold me hard, that's going to cause pain. But if you rub me gently, that's going to cause pain.
They're going to turn me on just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. What about you? Talk to me about how you like to be creative in terms of experimenting. We haven't talked about it, and I'm going to say it. The oral sex place. there's all of these different, I think being creative is just thinking outside of the box.
I was just about to say that. It's thinking outside the box. Like she said, like, it's not all about penetration. You can still be intimate with a vibrator. Have your partner use it on you. You never know. It might lead to that penetration kind of thing. Mm-hmm. There's oral sex. That's something, you know, you discuss with your partner, what you guys are comfortable, what you're not comfortable with, of course. There's flavored lotions, guys. There's actually massage oils, flavored massage oils / lubrication. Don't ask me how I know that, but there's options, people. There are options.
There's so many options, you guys. There really is. There are like even okay. I mean, there's even the pillow. Now, most girls would like just to put their head in the pillow to scream.
I was just about to say I only use the pillow for that one purpose. So
no, but if you have back pain, if you have knee pain, if you have certain pains, get padding, get pillows. You can even position a pillow underneath your body to help put you in a position that might be more comfortable for you. There is different things like we haven't gone into it, but there's also your positions, right? There might be a position where you can it's kind of like lifting weights. You might not be able to do 20 pounds, but you can do 5 pounds. Like there's a place where a certain position
your body can handle it better. Yep.
But you can, it's kind of like when you go to the gym, like my trainer, I'll do something and he'll be like, okay, shift your feet out this way. And all of a sudden it becomes lighter for me to do my workout.
Right.
Pillows can be a girl's best friend, people.
Listen, they are my best friend.
What else did you want to talk about?
Honestly, I think we covered a lot of stuff. I think it's just a matter of us just in the chronic pain community not being ashamed to have those conversations, seek out help. If you know that's a place we want to be with our partner, if it's a problem. I think we're afraid or ashamed to go to a doctor or seek out a counselor about it, but there's nothing to be shameful about because this is real life issues.
And the other thing is a lot of our community likes to go directly to their family physician. Again, we want you to know that there are different clinicians and specialists that do you remember Dr. Ruth? Do you remember the late night Dr. Ruth, the little short lady that and you're supposed to
Yes.
Dr. Ruth has been around for so long that there's so many people that are in this that are actually sexual doctors.
Yeah.
So if you are in a relationship and you are experiencing chronic pain, go get a counselor with your boo and find out a way for them to touch you and love you the same way.
100%.
You know, if your medication is affecting you in a certain way, maybe you find a fruit or a vegetable or an exercise or something that can combat the depression to get, your endorphins up.
And you know what? I think I'm using this example for another medication that I was taking. There are alternates as well.
There
are
alternate what?
Oh, sorry, alternate medication. So it will do the same thing, but not that specific medication. And with that, maybe it'll take away that, that drive for sex. Maybe it'll go lower. So you'll have more drive, but it'll still work on your behalf towards your health issues. So that's another thing that I actually just found out the other day. So
talk to your pharmacist. Your pharmacist is a really good person to have the conversation with before you have the conversation with your family doctor. Because your family doctors, let's not play. Sometimes they're set out to have certain prescriptions, and those are the ones that they're trying to push out.
Right.
But a pharmacist, their whole life is to know about the different drugs that are out there. So they have more knowledge about that. There's holistic ways of doing it, again, not just Western ways. Things like your acupuncture can help with your pain. There's the physiotherapy. There's the trainers. What we don't realize is that our clinicians still help us in this area.
Yep.
If you don't talk to your clinicians, if you don't acknowledge that you are having difficulty, no one can help you. Right? You have to start the conversation because it's your body, your mind. And it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a doctor or your partner. The only person that can tell them what's in here is you.
It's you.
Advocate for yourself, because when you advocate for yourself, you love yourself. And when you love yourself, your community will know how to love you as well. But they don't know how to love you until you tell them how to love you.
Just be comfortable and confident as much as you can, guys, because trust me, all of us want that sensual pleasure.
We do. So since we're talking about sensual pleasure, can we kind of go into the
You're just eager to give away this toy today. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You know why?
But let's do it.
Do you know why I'm eager? Because I feel like I'm helping somebody in the community.
100%. 100%.
For helping people in the community. And I think that's what the big thing is. So I'm going to come over here, my love. And we are going to, are you guys ready for the giveaway? Guys, see, people been watching. It's that time.
Listen, we have
time for the Valentine
been watching. People have been watching. So I think let's just see.
Okay. So to remind you, today we want to thank very, very much. We want to give it up to Hot Coitus for being able to sponsor us today for our Valentine's Day giveaway.
Where pleasure and fun meet.
So what we are giving away is a rose stimulator. Ooh, and that's what it looks like. But this is the package that you get. You get it with a little kit, and it comes in a little package, and it's a clitoris stimulator. So we're really thankful and very honored that they would partner up with us to do this. So I'm going to share my screen right now so that we can figure out who our winner is. Now, we actually were able to have over 2,000 people that were like participating and getting involved in this, but we've got our wheel up and I'm going to share it right now. And
everyone's entered, so you are not missed.
You are not missed. All right. You can't see me anymore, but you can see the wheel, Miss Sharifa?
I can see the wheel and I can see you.
Okay, are we ready?
I've been ready. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Hey.
Check it out.
Hey. Oh.
Miss Brooke 05 is our winner. Yay! Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Okay, so Brooke, we are going to get in touch with you via your whatever social media that it was.
Yeah, we'll get in touch with you. We'll reach out to you.
We're going to get in touch with you. Or if you're watching this right now, send us a DM because we're going to get your full name. We're going to get your address. We're going to work everything out and get your phone number so that we can actually have a conversation. We're so happy for you. We are so happy for you.
I'm excited for her. Trust me.
But what people don't know is that this is not your only opportunity to get a present from us. So we just gave our Valentine's Day giveaway, but we have another giveaway coming up in a few more weeks. So make sure that you stay tuned because we want to make sure that we are giving things out to our community that is going to help them.
And this one's a little teeny tiny bigger. It's a little teeny tiny bigger.
See, we're talking about dirty things today. So when you say bigger, my head doesn't go in the right place.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We need to have like a lot of fun being that we're in chronic pain. So let's do this. It's time for us to end the show, Rita.
It is time for us to end the show.
I hate ending the show when we're having
we got to do it.
Okay. So I guess what is your wrap up from today's show? What is your learning lesson?
I think my wrap up from today's show, it's more of a message to the chronic pain community is be comfortable in your own skin. Don't ever feel that because you're going through chronic pain and you feel not 100% every day that you can't keep it sexy or sensual. Listen, and you ain't got to be sexy for nobody but yourself either. So if that means you're not even going anywhere, but you want to get up, put on some makeup, do your hair up, only to lay on the couch and watch movies, do it, but do it for yourself first and foremost.
Do you know what's so funny?
What?
Because you were saying that, one, I don't give a sip, but two, I realize that there's so many times where we hear things like in the chronic pain community where they're like, you went from day pajama to night pajama to day pajama. I was like, do you know how many times those pajamas are commandos? I'm just saying.
It's the truth.
I'm just saying it's the truth. My takeaway for today is that I'm going to 100% agree when you talk about loving yourself. But understand that even if you feel like something's been taken away from you, you can fight to get it given back to you and you can tweak it. So even if how your sexual experiences were or how your sensuality was, if it's not the same as it used to be, and you're like, oh, I wish I was, become a different person, reinvent yourself in a different manner.
Yep.
You know, let the chronic pain be the excuse for you to go out and explore the world all over again, to figure out new ways for you to be satisfied and pleased in everything. Like that's what
Absolutely.
don't let it be a deficit. Let it be something that opens doors for you. So that's
Yep.
what
Absolutely.
Who's doing Keep It Moving moment today, my
I'm
love?
doing Keep It Moving moment today.
You are up, Buttercup. Keep
So
going.
our Keep It Moving moment today is love is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. I'm going to say it one more time. Love is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel it. And that's from Nicholas Sparks.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's it, you guys. That is another edition of Chronic Pain Conversations. My name is Kalila Bruswell, aka The Overcomer.
And
And
I'm Sharifa McLaren from YouTube's Atomic Life.
yes, we will be back next Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, to end off Black History Month with guest Sasha Coleman. She's an African Canadian neuropathic doctor. There is much to talk about with her being in the medical field as a person of color, so you do not want to miss next week's show.
Nope. Thanks for joining us, guys, for another episode of Chronic Pain Conversations. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at CP Conversations. If you're a chronic pain sufferer who is ready to share your story in the chronic pain community and you have tips on how to manage life through the pain, be sure to fill out our Share Your Story in any of our social media bio links.
Mm-hmm. And remember, Chronic Pain Conversations is a show that enlightens and advocates about chronic pain. We hope you have an amazingly blessed week. Bye.